Because my career, I've spent jumping out of aeroplanes for a living. Now, it's a really rotten job, but someone had to do it. Before that, it was really, I did a degree in marketing, an honours degree in marketing, and got right into the marketing philosophy. And I chose skydiving to be the thing that I really applied that to. So I started my own business in 1984. And believe it or not, well, some of you may or may not know, but there weren't any faxes then. There were no mobile phones. I started the business with an electric typewriter, which was amazing because I could actually, put one of those white things in and go backwards and go over a mistake. So there were no personal computers, no mobiles, no faxes, no internet. And through the years, I've seen the whole thing pieced together, and it's been really, really exciting as someone that's really interested in the marketing philosophy. And I've predicted for a long time that one day the internet... you can't hear, sorry. One day that is that better? One day that the internet and mobile technology and all those things would come together, and that would cause a marketing revolution. So it's basically taken about 50 years to get a computer in our hand. We started in mainframes in the 60s and 70s, personal computing. I remember getting my first word processor, which was just absolutely amazing that I could save something and then bring it up again without having to type it all again. And then, of course, the internet, and now mobile computing, because these amazing things that we have available now are really mini computers, as you all know. Just out of interest, how many people in the room have a smartphone? Pretty much. Probably a better question. Has anyone still got a dumb phone? Don't be shy. Oh yeah, one proud person. Before I got my smartphone, I recently went to a skydiving conference, and I was the only one there with a dumb phone. I thought, well, I'll have to get kicking and screaming dragged forward, and I actually have found it to be a very pleasant experience because they're such neat little things. So the smartphone revolution is just quite staggering numbers that are involved, and in a very, very short time, over 300 million iPhones have been activated. Excuse me. And over 500 million Android. And another quick question for you. How many people here have an iPhone? Yeah, and how many people have an Android? Yeah, well, it's beginning to balance up now in Australia. It's been iPhone dominated here. In America, it's definitely gone the other way, and Android are owning now nearly 50% of the US smartphone market. So that's pretty interesting what's happening there. But where it really comes down to marketing sense is that these amazing smartphones that we have allow us to suddenly connect with the internet and use them for a whole wide range of things that on top of what we could use just to talk to people before. And actually 95% of smartphone users have used their smartphone to search for local information. So I think this is quite an interesting move in terms of the internet being kind of a global expansion of everything, and now really coming back to this technology being highly applicable to local marketing. 61% of users call a business after searching, and 59% actually visit the location, and 90% of these people act within 24 hours. So they're pretty stunning numbers that we're looking at, the usage. And some interesting feedback as well is that 57% of people won't actually recommend a business with a bad mobile site. 40% will go somewhere else. They'll just get frustrated trying to look at a website on a mobile and go to another site. And actually 23% of adults have actually cursed at their phone when a site doesn't work. And I think you've probably all experienced this, because actually at the moment, as web designers, you're going to have to be moving very quickly, I'd imagine, into the mobile usage of the web. And you've probably all experienced it. You know, when you look at you look at a website on your mobile phone, you've got to start zooming in and trying to scan around and all that sort of thing. It's just not that practical. Now, what's happened is that mobile applications have just been a huge success, and that's obviously the software that links in with a smartphone. And in just over 3 years, over 20 billion apps have been downloaded between both iPhone and Android devices. So just to make it absolutely clear, what is a mobile app, in case anyone doesn't know? It's a mobile application, is a software program that runs specifically on a smartphone and assists the user in some way. And obviously, because of the size and the low processing power of a mobile device compared to a PC, apps have been created to be completely compatible. So it's a really smooth interface in the smartphone. And the first mobile app was created by Apple for their iPhone, but in no time, as you will have witnessed, we got about 50-50 on the Android iPhone. Software developers have just been crazily venturing into all types of smartphone technology and also all types of apps. And therefore, there's just this huge number of applications designed for mobiles that are now available to us all and covering a massive range of different things. And they basically assist a mobile phone user by making tasks easier, enabling interaction, and if suitable, can even put some fun into the use of a smartphone. And obviously a lot of apps are already pre-installed on a smartphone, such as compasses and calculators and calendars and clocks. They all can be classed as applications. And a lot of the early applications, and some of them have had absolutely phenomenal success, have been centred around games and tools and levels and torches and all sorts of things like that. And probably all of you have heard of Angry Birds. It's just been quite an extraordinary, the numbers that are involved in and the money that has made the developers of that particular app. But since the first application, the world of mobile apps has been evolving extremely fast to what we have available today. And that really could be considered as a mobile marketing machine. And whilst most mobile apps are still made purely for fun purposes and tools, apps are very quickly becoming far more business and marketing oriented. And that annoying sort of seeing a website, they can see one of our clients here, where when you go to a website, their current website, you would just see this tiny little website on the mobile. Whereas an example of the move of using a marketing app, you can see that it's a really sexy thing, it fits the phone, it's very easy to use, it's fast to use. So it's been specifically designed to mobilise a business's marketing efforts. So I kind of see that as being from Angry Birds to more happy customers. And the main reason for a business or an organisation, I sort of basically focusing on businesses because of the return on investment that this type of application can have for a business. But it can be a wide variety of different organisations, if you like, and in particular ones that have very much a community base to them. And I'm talking about things like gyms, nightclubs, churches, emergency services, things where they have a large community of people that need to be contacted quickly and regularly and want to be interacting with the organisation that they're dealing with and therefore happy to have their app on their phone. That's the whole idea. So a mobile app allows any organisation to be right in the pocket of the consumer, available at the consumer's fingertips, and with a simple click they can actually get what they want from that particular organisation. And we know that people like to be connected these days, hence the huge success of social media and all that sort of thing. So, and companies have been very, I don't know whether anyone saw the, I think it was last night, the Gruen transfer, where they showed the YouTube effect of United breaking its heart. Anyone see that last night? No? So, that was about United, which is the airline, threw a guitar out of the plane, and the actual owner of that guitar saw them do it, and he tried to get his guitar paid for because it was smashed, and they wouldn't pay him for the guitar. And so he made a YouTube video about it, and it was a really funny country song. It's worth having a look at, but it's had tens of millions of views. They estimate now that that video has cost United something like $195 million in lost revenue from one little video. So businesses have had to become very, very socially media aware, and we know that people like being connected, and if a business can provide that connection, they are very definitely rewarded by loyalty from their customers. And when customers find and consumers find that they can easily get what they want without having to zoom in and try and look around a badly designed mobile website, then they'll be happy to have that business residing on their phone in the form of an app. In particular, when an app provides a lot of interesting content, it's very easy to use, and it actually has value to the consumer. The consumer tends to share it, and that can be all built into the app as well, making it very, very easy to make them viral. And that can obviously increase the return on investments even further. So, statistics have been showing as well that by including a promotion on the download of the app, that a very, very high percentage of those people are actually taking advantage of that offer, whatever it is, on the download, and actually going to the store or whatever it is to take up that offer. Once the app's installed, and organisations are able to send their customers valuable, engaging information every day, every hour, every minute. It just depends on their demographics of their customer base or their member base as to how important that information is. And it particularly comes to mind of the fires down, and particularly emergency services and things like that, where communication needs to be really, really quick. So quality over quantity, it's definitely an area where people just won't put up with being spammed. It's just as easy to uninstall an app as it is to install an app. But a mobile app can also allow regular communication with the customer to offer them something that they're really looking forward to, a discount or a special offer of some kind. And also the real power that's coming into the mobile technology is things that are actually native to that environment in the way that simply a website just can't do. Like a mobile can actually give you GPS directions to the door of a business. There can be direct calling from within the app, and loyalty programs all built into that app, where the little punch cards that have been so successful, the statistics on those little sushi cards and things like that, they're just really, really phenomenally successful. Well, when it's built into the addiction that people have with their smartphone, obviously has that attraction as well of scanning a code, or a quick response code as they're called. And this is another area which is seeing just the beginnings of at the moment in the media, and it's really just big companies that are really pushing and using mobile marketing strategies now, but you're starting to see these QR codes pop up all over the place. How many people incidentally regularly or have scanned a QR code before with their phone? Actually, not as many people as I would have thought. I'm actually finding this, that part of what I'm doing at the moment is generally educating people as to what a QR code is and what they can do. From a business point of view, I think there's a very big lack of understanding in how powerful they are. But this is just an example of one. Calvin Klein jeans had this up in, I think it was Times Square or something, and it takes you through to a really hot video of someone, I think it's even strutting around in a pair of jeans, would you believe? But that's all it does. It's simply taking people direct to a destination, and that really isn't taking maximum advantage of what they can do. But you'll start to see them popping up. I've been doing a little bit of data, and I might have to talk to you later about visualizing it all, but at the moment I reckon about 5% of print ads in newspapers have some kind of a QR code in them. It's still very, very low and not really being utilised as much as I think you'll see a massive change in a very, very short period of time. Because once people realise what they do and how they can be used from both points of view, from the consumer and the business or organisation, they give the user instant access. And I know you've probably all been typing in web addresses into your phone, and I know some people have got these incredibly dexterous thumbs that can text really fast. I can't quite do that yet. But, typing in the things and then going to the website, it's pretty slow, it's really difficult, you can get it wrong, you've got to delete it, it's just a pain in the butt. So just by scanning a code, you're taken straight to that destination, whatever that might be. Now, interestingly, a large proportion of the people scanning QR codes are young, and that, I guess, is pretty obvious because the technology take-up in that demographic is obviously a lot faster than the old farts like myself. 5 out of 10 people have seen or know what the QR code is. 30% of mobile users have scanned a QR code, and I'd say that was pretty close to what I just saw on the numbers there. But these numbers are very rapidly increasing. Those of you that haven't done it yet, I hope you go out and start looking for the codes in the newspaper and have a go at scanning them and see where they take you. But 87% of people who are scanning these QR codes, quick response codes, that's why they're called that, are doing it to get rapid information on products and services. And that can take to embedded media like videos, all sorts of different things. And preferably, the pinnacle would be to download an app, which a business or organisation is offering for free. Because once an app is downloaded, what I'm seeing a lot with things, a good example is that Calvin Klein one. Great, I got to watch the video, but it made no attempt to gain me as a customer really, or give me anything more than a steamy video. But people are using them very much to get rapid information on products and services. And the largest number of scans are at the moment coming from conventional media like newspapers and magazines. But I think we'll start even seeing them on the TV because they can be scanned from absolutely anywhere. Quite a few of the bigger companies now are beginning to promote their apps on the television. There's actually a campaign going on to get people, and this is companies like Coles and Brand Power and quite big organisations that invest a lot of money in their TV advertising. You can see them all starting to be pushing apps and QR codes all over the place. And businesses across all industries, organisations have started to use them across the board. And they give that all-important thing, customer excitement, instant gratification, and that's what people want these days from their their mobile interaction with the internet. And they're also very versatile, and you probably haven't really seen them being used much in these environments, but you can slap them on t-shirts and gift cards, and you can start to get really, really creative. I just saw one of the first ones I saw in a shop doorway recently. So you'll start to see them all over the place. And also, at the moment, most of the ones that you will see will be the simple crossword-looking type, just normal black and white ones. But it's also possible to customise QR codes with logos, with colour schemes, corporate identity. So you will also start to see that happening a heck of a lot more. And surprisingly, they don't actually cost really anything. Amazingly enough, most of the processes involved in using QR codes are free, and there's all sorts of analytics that you can use. And apart from custom work, i.e. getting those codes, it's pretty tricky to get those codes to still work when you've moved them around and put logos in and coloured them, etc. So apart from that, and working with an experienced professional, we're pretty much not going to pay anything for adopting QR codes. So just to wrap up, the world pretty much has gone mobile. Still really consumers are mobile, but businesses and organisations still haven't quite caught up yet. So it's a very exciting time. There's some pretty serious consequences, I think, at the moment for organisations to not adopt a mobile marketing strategy. Certainly because mobile consumers want everything fast and easy. If a business is not catering to that desire, then they've obviously got some serious potential for profit leakage. And because the mobile app can create an instant connection between a business and their consumers and their customers and their members or whoever they might be, it could just as easily be an internal for a large company. It could be employees, that sort of thing. So not having one could have a negative impact on a business a lot quicker than you can think. And I'll just remind you about those statistics. At the moment, 95% of people, mobile users, are using them to search for local information. 40% are going to move to a competitor website if they have a slight problem accessing a website on their phone, and 61% will call the business that they find. So the ultimate price that I believe that organisations will pay if they don't move pretty rapidly is that they're just going to lose customers, the ones that get frustrated, as well as failing to reach a lot of other customers that are pretty much addicted to the mobile smartphone now. And as the become more and more familiar and aware of what a QR code can have in its secret message, there'll be all sorts of bonuses and add-ons and things like that where it'll make it a lot of value in scanning one of those things. So I think it's a pretty important time for businesses. So I know, how many people here are web developers, website designers? So I guess a lot of your clients now are becoming interested more and more in mobile marketing and asking those questions. Is anyone here developing mobile apps at the moment for businesses? Yeah, a couple of people. That's great. So that's me kind of summing up what I'm seeing happening from a marketing perspective, and I think it's a really, really exciting time. If anyone is interested, I have written a book called Mobile Profits 101, and you can get that from the website, my website, and take a look at that. And any questions, feel free to contact me if you need any help with adapting that to your website development.
Garry, just wondered about the difference between a mobile app versus a mobile website. Is there a point at which your web app really should detach from being a web app, optimised for mobile use, and just actually go onto the a mobile app on the device. I mean, do you have any guidance on that?
Yeah, to sum up what Ben just asked is, where's the line between believing you need or needing just a mobile website, say an HTML5 mobile website, is that what you're getting at? Yeah, to actually having an application custom made for a business. And, the features that can be built into an app, you just can't get them in an HTML5 mobile website. What the mobile website's going to do is make it look better, but it's still pretty much the website. Where the app really stands alone is its functionality. It's what they call native iOS type things for the Apple, things that only an app can do, like the GPS directions and the interactivity in them. So heck of a lot of features that you just can't accommodate in a website. So does that answer the question? So I think where you draw the line is what your website is actually used for, and how much of a community that you have. I gave an example of one of my clients, which is a car dealership. I don't think that's at the top of the peak for the maximum use of an app, although they have lots of regular events and they have, special deals and all that sort of thing. But it's a one-off, big purchase. It's a high-ticket item. And I'm sure you can all see this in your mind, but much more, and I would say it's a no-brainer, something like a nightclub really needs to have an app over and above a website, because it can be just so interactive. They can have a special happy hour in an hour's time, so it's very fast moving. People are going to get the push notifications, they're called, rather than text messages, immediately, instantly, whether the app's turned on or off. And so it's very much a permission-based thing as well. It's like building a list, and you can be leading people into a newsletter and everything. And I just see this addiction to these things that are making it something that's, there's going to be some challenges there will always be websites, but as people are ditching laptops and things like that and just going mobile, obviously those numbers that I showed you before are absolutely huge.